All right, so far we've been talking about several things on the coordinate plane, and today we're going to talk about polygons. Anybody know what a polygon is? Raise your hand if you know what a polygon is. Riley? Okay. All right, anybody else? Yes.
A stop sign.
All right, a stop sign is an example of a polygon. Okay. Okay, Go ahead. Yes? Didn't you have your hand up? Okay. All right, no one. Oh, yes. Okay, it can have 6 sides. That's part of it. Okay, so a polygon. All right, so poly, the prefix poly means many, and the other part of it, polygons, means a many-sided figure. So it is a closed figure, can't be open anywhere. It closes up, and it can have 3 sides or more than 3 sides. That's the definition of a polygon. So a polygon is just a shape that has some sides. It's a way that we define any kind of shape that's closed and has at least 3 sides. So it could be, as you guys have said, a stop sign. It could be a 6-sided figure, but it could also be a 12-sided figure, a 4-sided figure, a 3-sided figure, all those things. Now, I want to real quickly, before we talk about polygons, these are some reminders that I put on the front of your foldable. And I feel like this is going to help you with some of the things that people have been struggling with. So it says, when you are graphing, remember that you're going across first and up or down second. But the next part is what really seems to give people a lot of questions. So most of you don't have any problems remembering that 0, 0 is the origin. And it's right in the middle. But people have trouble with the next 2 kinds. So if you have 0, 6, that means you have a 0 in the X or the Y? X. And if you will think about it this way, if it's a 0 for X, it's never going to touch the X-axis. That may help you remember. So if it doesn't touch the X-axis, that means it's on the Y. So 0, 6 would be graphed up here on the Y. Same thing for -2, 0. It has a 0 where the what is? Y-axis is. So that means it never touches the Y. So it's going to be graphed on the X, like this. Okay? So I'm hoping that that little reminder will help you when you're going to graph, because these are the most commonly confused. So just remember, whichever one it has a 0 for, it doesn't touch. So it's going to be on the opposite one. All right, let's keep going. So these are polygons. So this is our little thing inside of it. And we're going to just do a couple of things with it. Nothing we're going to do is hard. There's really only one place where people generally make a mistake on these, and I'll show you where that is when we get there. So it says plot the following points and connect them as we go. So let's do this piece together. It says -4, 7. So that means we're going to go backwards 4 because we go across first, and up to 7. That's going to put it up here. The next one says -2, 7. So we're going to go back 2, up to 7, put it right there, and it says connected as we go. So we'll draw a line. The next one says -2, 1. So that's going to be right here. Connect it to the last one. And the last one says -4, 1. Connect it to that one. Connect it back to the beginning. Okay, so we made our shape. And then it says, what's the shape? What is it? It's a rectangle. Now, it's going to ask us to tell what the area and the perimeter of them are. Okay, so it's really easy. For the area, I just recommend that you count the boxes inside. There are other ways to do it, and if you know another way, that's fine. But we're just going to count the boxes. And as we go, let's just put dots in them so remember which ones we've counted. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there are 12 boxes inside. And since we don't know what these are, centimeters or whatever, we're going to call them units, just like we did before. 12 units. And does anybody know when we're doing area, there needs to be a special label on the answer? Anybody know what that label is? Chandra?
Is it width and
Width? Not sure. Maybe, but I don't really know. Yes? Yeah, it's squared because it's made up of squares. If you think of carpet, area can make us think of carpet. We'll get to that in a second. But carpet is made up of squares. It's not just a straight line. It's made up of squares. So that's why this is going to be units squared. Okay? So area is always squared. Then it asks us, what's the perimeter? Now, this is the one that most of us, if we're going to make a mistake, this is where our mistake is going to be. So I want to show you how to do this. Okay, if you think perimeter is like a fence, it goes around the outside. And if you will draw a chain link fence, you will not make a mistake figuring out the perimeter. So let's do it together. Here's what the chains are going to look like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have to keep touching, okay? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So there are 16 links. See how it touches each one. The problem that happens when people don't do that is they'll make mistakes on the corner because they'll start counting boxes and then they'll count an extra box on the corner. But if you'll just draw a chain link fence, you won't make that mistake. So how many did we come up with again?
16.
So it was 16, and this time, is it going to be squared? No, because it was a straight line, right? So it's just 16 units. Okay? Okay, then it asks us what quadrant is it in. What quadrant are we in?
2.
The second one. Roman numeral 2. And then it says reflected across the x-axis. So let's do this. Let's highlight the x-axis just like we did. Y'all did a good job on this, except a few people didn't go across the one that they were highlighting. Okay, and this is where I would take your pencil to draw your connections. So this is 1 up, so we're going to go 1 down right there. 1 up, go 1 down right there. Connect those two. Then this top point is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to go down 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The other one is up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we're just going to connect them. And we have now reflected it across the x-axis. What quadrant is it in now? 3. Quadrant number 3. So this is in your foldable, right? So for area, there are 2 ways you can do it. You can do what we did, which is count the boxes inside, which is fine. Or if you happen to know and remember the formula for area of a rectangle, it's just base times height. So you could just count one side, the other side, or I'm sorry, the one next to it, and then multiply them. So if you remember that, you can do it. But that only works for rectangles and squares. It doesn't work for other shapes. And think of carpet when you think of area. So for perimeter, add up all the sides. I recommend drawing your chain link fence so you don't make a mistake. And the key word to remember is fence.